How are general elections held in India, one of the largest democracy of world? How does the election process work? In the general elections in India, the electorate, currently people who are eligible to vote, is more than 700 million. This is a figure as larger than both the European Union (EU) and the American electorates combined. The sheer size of India's population means that elections are a lengthy process. Normally, they are conducted in a number of phases. The process begins with the announcement of state assembly election dates by the Election Commission, the autonomous, constitutionally established federal authority responsible for administering all the electoral processes of India. The Election Commission will publish electoral rolls, the listing of all those registered to vote in a particular area, along with the dates of candidate nominations, polling and vote counting. The Model Code of Conduct, guidelines on how political parties and candidates must behave during elections, then comes into effect from the day these dates are announced. This code of conduct is put in place to act as a check on the political parties who participate in the elections, so, for example, no party is allowed to use government resources for campaign purposes and all campaigning must stop 48 hours before the actual day of polling. Usually, government schools and colleges, for example, Kendriya Vidyalayas, are chosen as polling stations, where voters can come to cast their votes. The collector of each district is in charge of overall polling, while the polling stations are manned by government employees to ensure that a fair voting process is followed. Nowadays, electronic voting machines (EVMs) are being used instead of ballot paper boxes, for much the same reason. These display the symbols of the parties that are participating in the elections. To vote, you press the button that denotes the symbol of the party your favored candidate belongs to. Once you cast your vote, indelible ink is applied on your left index finger to show that you have voted. This is a practice that has been in place since 1962, to ensure that no bogus voting takes place. After elections are over, the voting machines are stored in a guarded room until all the different phases of voting are over. Then on the date set by the Election Commission, the votes are counted. The verdict is usually out within a matter of hours. The candidate who has won the most votes is declared to be the winner of that particular constituency. At the general elections, the party that wins the most seats is invited by the President of India to form the new government. This party must prove its majority in the Lok Sabha in a vote of confidence by obtaining a simple majority, 50% of votes in the House. Thus, the elections are completed. This is for the formation of central government and its ministries, including the Prime Minister of India. So, to summarize, the members of the Lok Sabha are elected by adult universal suffrage, franchise, and a first-past-the-post system to represent their respective constituencies, and they hold their seats for 5 years or until the body is dissolved by the President on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Lok Sabha currently has a maximum membership of 543 seats. Similarly, state-wise elections are conducted to elect state-wise leaders for ministries at state level, including the state chief minister in the Vidhan Sabha election of the state. Similarly, Rajya Sabha that currently has a maximum membership of 245, of which 233 are elected by the legislatures of the states and union territories using single transferable votes through open ballot, while the president can appoint 12 members for their contributions to art, literature, science, and social services.